Good afternoon. Up in the cabin today with my little mate there. How are we doing? You good girl? It's so nice being up here with her. It's yeah, a bit of me and her time. But hobby-wise, things are going quite nicely at the moment. So I've had a bit of time to myself. Went to the club on Sunday, just gone, and we played the Operation Gin Sling with the early war Far East, and it was good fun. My mate Tony had all his set all the terrain up. It was based on, although I've got the Operation Gin Sling from War Games Illustrated 1992 or 93, I can't remember. We worked from a scenario on a magazine which I didn't have, and it was based on Wake Island. But instead of Americans, we put in Tony's Brits and Indians, and it's really good fun. So I've come back enthused, and I'm now making this kit here, which I purchased probably about a month ago, and it's a really nicely moulded aeroplane kit, but the instructions. One second, there's a shelf behind here. Work in progress. But the instructions in it are really quite vague in some parts of. Look at that engine bit there. Has left me scratching my head somewhat, and I realised I've had to leave a few bits out, I must admit. It's a war game model, but it's always nice to build it as best you can, but it's proving to be a bit difficult. Too much for my tired little brain, I think. So while that's been going on, I've also been making progress on the Australian 20mm battalion. I've got another 8 figures to go, and then that will be completed. But hobby-wise, it's mainly terrain at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll link 2 videos together, and I will show you the coastal boards I've made, and thoroughly enjoyed doing that too. But what I'll do this time, I showed you and showed it briefly last time. I'll set all the boards up and give an overview of what I've done, which means I have to take you. Do you want to go inside now? If I start moving things around, she lives up to her name and gets all nervous, shaky. Do you want to go indoors? Hey, hey, hey. Do you want a biscuit? Nah. You have a biscuit indoors, okay? Come on in. Come on in. All right. That got her moving. I'll be back in 1 second. Right, so I've just been organising the coastal board, seeing what I've got. If I move around here, I'll just throw in the. Oh, it's all a bit tight at the moment. The French Indian Wars collection of terrain out. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 boards I've made up of coastline. And I must admit, I'm pretty pleased with it, the way it's come out. I said previously, I'm not the greatest terrain maker, but for the effect now, it gives endless possibilities to scenarios. This can be part of a river with a inlet. And I've also been looking at Russian World War II amphibious landings. There was a few. I've got my Russians I can use for that in 20mm. And obviously there's the scope now for commando actions in bolt action. You could have coastline of Italy, World War II, or even French-Italian wars. The rivers are a different colour to the sea, but does that matter? I think they could do with a few more coats of gloss. Yes, I'm pleased with that. The harbour never turned up, and I now need a different backdrop, don't I? Okay, I might leave this out and get a few bits out and see what they look like. If you missed it last time, the board thickness I use is MDF 18mm. The plain boards are 18mm, and obviously the rivers and the coastline are two 2 foot square sections of 9mm. So then obviously you can get the depth. You cut it out with the jigsaw, and you can get the depth of the river and the coast. And when I was making the rivers, I didn't put that's plain MDF painted, but with the sea, I stippled filler on just to give that little bit of, as you can see, bit of a texture to it, and 3 or 4 coats of gloss, water-based gloss. Okay, thanks for watching.